Hey, my darlings. I'm back for some more adventures with Alpha and Omega. Quack? Quack, quack, quack? Omega has selected a new destination. Our next destination will be Camp Broken Glass. I desire elaboration on the dealings between the Ilsabard contingent and the denizens of Garlemald. The report describes the contingent's purpose as the salvation of the local populace. Furthermore, both factions faced a common enemy in the Teleferi. Why did they not immediately combine forces to their mutual benefit? This inconsistency requires closer examination. Elita, initiate teleportation. Yeah, I know it's cold. Teleportation successful. Evaluating immediate environments. A cold weather region by Ethereus standards, but significantly less extreme than a star with ice planet classification. This body should not be unduly impeded. In contrast to Alpha and his uncontrollable shivering, my frame appears to be highly resistant to low temperatures. Retrieving data. Records indicate that remnants of the contingent force and a number of Imperial citizens yet inhabit this location. We must speak with representatives from both factions and explore their respective attitude. Proceed. Alpha and Omega are now accompanied. Keep them at your side in order to proceed. Yeah, the usual. Two destinations. Please approach a contingent member and an Imperial citizen. I require input from both perspectives. I recommend you move at a brisk pace. The exertion will raise your body temperature, preventing you and Alpha from freezing to death. Elita, come to see how things are progressing, have you? I can't speak for the overall strategy, but communication with the locals has become a damn sight easier since Julius and his soldiers stepped in to help. Oh, we still face our fair share of distrust, of course. Some folks even think we're enslaving minds with our foreign magics. We have Anima to thank for putting that idea in their heads. But all things considered, I'd say we're doing pretty well. Establishing an open dialogue was the first big step. Query, you consider this level of progress acceptable? The reality of your efforts falls short of the ideal. If your aim is to provide efficient succor to the local populace, then absorbing their numbers into your command structure would be the optimal path. Oh, I wouldn't go that far. We're not looking to take over their nation. If we're to do this the right way, we need to recognize and respect each other's way of life. So while it may not be the easiest solution, I agree with the continued steady approach. I'm just happy we're saving lives. I'm Alan Egan, but I was also an Imperial conscript until not so long ago. Though I was lucky enough to have a decent commanding officer, many Garleans treated provincials like we were less than people. On the other hand, natives of Alamigo didn't think much of us either. I guess that's my roundabout way of saying I'm surprised this contingent was even formed in the first place. I feel a bit fortunate to be part of it. same thing. Are you still sneezing? Yep. A shadow from the past, yes. I know you from Victor's spoils. Have you come to laugh at me? I read you chose to lose Lucina and her sister rather than accept your help. The fool who ended up reliant upon your charity nonetheless. Well, perhaps I deserve your derision. My compatriots surely score my failed conviction. I have shamed my people and brought dishonor upon my nation. I am no better than a kept beast, my pride sold for a bowl of feed. But my soul, nay, that ye shall never have. I have refused your honeyed offers of a new home. This land is where I belong, and this is where I shall remain. But you demonstrate opposition to the contingent overtures. On what basis do you refuse this cooperation? The data suggests the local population is struggling to produce the bare minimum of sustenance. Have you some secret strategy for survival, or do your orders compel you to accept your present misfortune? What? Must I be mocked by a Magitech toy now? No, I have no secret strategy, no binding orders, but comport myself as any true Galilean patriot would, uncompromising, unbending. Blast it all. Once again, this input is unanticipated. Let us move aside and process what we have heard. There is not for me here. I know this. But if I surrounded my homeland, then what was it all for? I require time and distance to process this data, scanning for suitable locations. Quack? Quack, quack, quack! Quack, 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 quack! Accessing and analyzing recorded data. Integration complete. I have evaluated this most recent input and made comparisons to our discoveries in Ratzatan. Consistent only in their inconsistency, the responses from both contingent member and Imperial citizen were highly irrational. Conversely, any Omicron, considering their predicaments, would have echoed my assessment exactly. The divergence from self-evident logic is key. Hypothesis: the illogical relationship between would-be saviors and suffering populace is another result of the unpredictable nature of mortal hearts. Any property or ability has inherited advantages and disadvantages. Yet never have I encountered such a unique detriment. It appears that those who share your metaphysical capabilities are prone to complicating simple cognitive processes. An undesirable quality. I will, however, persist in furthering my understanding of the subject. Query: prior to formulating our next step, I wish to know, who is this Lucina the Imperial mentioned? Acknowledged. To summarize, insufficient data on foreign culture resulted in inadvisable and ultimately fatal action. I witnessed such self-destructive behavior during the course of our planetary conquest. Overwhelmed entry forces would voluntarily withdraw into perilous regions, leading to a succession of inevitable losses. Tangential data request. I wish to learn about burial customs. The practice has ever seemed nonsensical, but new data suggests it rises from the same source as your cognitive complications. Take me to this Lucina's burial site. It may aid me in Energy delivery systems compromised. Core temperature critically low. Warming. Immediate heating required. Request apply friction to outer frame. Quack, 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 quack. Loop, blip, temperature nominal, energy level stabilizing. The creators of this model must have experienced impaired cognitive reasoning during the design process. Upon our return, I will request additional climate shielding as well as an accurate temperature sensor array. This will not affect my combat capabilities, but should improve my basic survival rate. Reconfirming sub-destination. In which direction will we find Victor's spoils? Blip. Acknowledged. Alpha, you are to remain in close proximity, close enough to envelop me in your feathers. You are permitted to carry me on your back if you so choose. Quack, quack, quack. A deceptively deep snowdrift almost defeated me, but we have successfully arrived at the location you indicated. Caution advised. An unknown individual appears to be investigating the object of my interest. You're Eorzea's champion, aren't you? Elita Draconia? Oh, I never introduced myself, did I? I am Manius, soldier of the First Legion, and comrade of Julius. Perhaps you remember me from the Tertium. We spoke about collecting ceruleum, and again later on after Lord Quintus had passed. Marinus, explanation requested. What is the reason for your presence here? That must be the tiniest Magitech weapon no, it's just an oddly shaped communicator, isn't it? In any case, I have nothing worthy to report. I heard that the sisters who used to live in my sector were buried here, so I thought I'd come and pay my respects. Alphino and Alazi told me the story, complete with profuse apologies, though they were adamant that no amount of remorse could erase the tragedy of what came to pass. Not that my fellow soldiers and I are in a place to judge. We were manipulated, fooled into starting an insurrection which led to countless deaths among our own countrymen. Objection. The casualties incurred through your infighting are distinct from those caused by the Ilsebard contingent. To restate, you are justified in seeking restitution from the contingent for causing the deaths of Lucina and her sister. Retaliation for damages sustained is also a logical progression. I can deduce 2 reasons why you do not initiate hostilities with Elita and her allies. 1. You judge your remaining forces too weakened to contend effectively with the contingent. 2. Your emotions are complicating the issue. Tell me, which of these is correct? Well, when you lay it out like that... I'm afraid my answer isn't like to win me any medals, so would you mind keeping this to yourselves? There's the unspoken thought that we're outmatched on the battlefield, certainly, but the real reason I'm not demanding restitution has little to do with weighing the odds. The simple truth is, I'm so caught up with simple survival that I've no strength to spare for past grievances. The same goes for avenging any comrades we've lost, be that my brothers in arms or Lord Quintus himself. Although it seems everyone has an opinion about the matter of his passing, some say he should have fought till the end, that he abandoned us to the enemy. Others praise him for taking the full burden of responsibility and freeing us to walk our own path. I don't know who's right and who's wrong, but I'm inclined to side with the latter. He gave us the choice of freedom, and that's the choice I made. I could cry and rant and rage, but what would be the point? I'll save my energy for worrying about my next meal, my next task. I need to focus on the ones left behind, on making some kind of life for my comrades and me. And if I need to lean on contingent to do that, then that's what I'll do. Even if their aid comes at a price, I'm willing to pay it. Even amongst your own, there are times when cooperation demands compromise. What matter that they're outsiders? Besides, I think I could grow to like Alphino and Alazi. They've reached out to us with kindness and compassion from the very beginning. Summation. Your desire to survive, even should it mean aligning with the contingents, was a feeling you already harbored. That your side had committed worse atrocities was the logic you invented later to justify your reasoning. Blunt, but accurate, I suppose. The heart is honest about what it wants, even if the mind takes a while to reconcile the decision. Well, this has been oddly cathartic, but I must return to my duties. There are wild beasts to call, watchfires to light, supplies to transport. Even without an emperor, there's no rest for an imperial. Be well and stay safe. Blip. Upon review of recent input, I have arrived at an unexpected conclusion. I have been formulating my assessments on the premise that it was a man who commanded the strength of his heart, but the data suggests the opposite is true. The surge of spirit, of feelings, of emotions that can entangle your thoughts to such a degree that even control over your own behavior is compromised, it seems a most counterproductive specification. This also explains why my interactions with mortal subjects have produced more confusion than clarification. It presents a formidable barrier to understanding. Quack, 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 quack. Blip. My earlier hypothesis has been borne out. The suboptimal operation being conducted here is a result of emotionally compromised reasoning. I am ready to progress to my third and final query. I would learn more about those referred to as ancients. It is clear that this group was a crucial factor of the final days, but the information contained in the report was insufficient to form an overview. The Loperites are creations of the ancients, and are said to maintain repositories of their knowledge. By my calculation, the base of these moon-dwellers will provide the best sort of additional data. Teleport us to their burrow, Elita, preferably before my battery freezes over. Quack! 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 Your teleportation spell was successful. We appear to have arrived at the location described as Best Ways Burrow. An inspection of the technology in use here would give me detailed insight into the ancients and their civilization. This body, however, lacks my previous frame's advanced observational functionality. I will require external assistance. No! No, it can't be! It is you! Oh, Elita, I've missed you so! Oh, what's this you brought with you? This soft, feathery vision. We've been outfluffed. Pack up the moon, it's all over. Why bother with barrel building bunnies when you can walk around with an adorable avian engineer? Just bake me into a pie and be done with it. Inspect our inventions? Wait, so you're not done with this? I wasn't truly worried, of course. And I certainly wasn't about to roll myself in dough and dive into cooking Wade's new oven. Ahem. If a technical breakdown is what you need, then I am your Laperite. As resident atmospheric regulation expert, I can field any question or query you might care to pose. Acceptable. I will employ this being to guide me around the facilities. Your presence is not mandatory, even locked in my current chassis. I am still an autonomous construct that has endured hundreds of your life cycles. I am capable of completing this simple objective alone. Objective complete. Was the tour helpful? Affirmative. I observed a representative cross-section of the Laperite's engineering capabilities. My guide required more time to confirm the answer to certain questions, but overall we made efficient progress. Conclusion. Extrapolating from the fraction of technology on display, the full spectrum of the ancients' advancements was, at minimum, equivalent to a level 4 civilization, a fact which demands further investigation. Despite establishing a near-ideal society, these beings nevertheless harbored a weakness which invited self-destruction. In studying them, I stand to gain a greater understanding of Sir's anomalous decision. Growing Way informed me that another type of ancient-made entity exists. Upon this satellite, the one they call the Watcher, I would speak to him. Then conserve your ether. We will ride this Argos to our destination as you have suggested. Argos is pointedly ignoring the existence of Omega and Alpha. Bloop. Impedance detected. The creature identified as Argos refuses to acknowledge our presence. Hypothesis. Upon our arrival, Growing Way expressed concern that he had been outfluffed. This suggests the existence of a fluff-based hierarchy. My station in such a system would be predictably low, but Argos is adamant in ignoring even Alpha. Its fluffiness level is impossible to gauge. Argos turns to you with an impassive gaze. It seems you will need to intervene. You're the fluffiest of them all, dear Argos. Argos gives an exasperated snort before motioning to his back. It seems you have permission to climb aboard. Loop, you have secured the creature's permission. Curious, you must have special standing in the fluffiness hierarchy. Leap, once I have allowed myself to become distracted, let us continue to the Watcher at once. The Watcher located. An estimate of this being's height explains the inconvenient scale of Beastway's burrow. Quack! Quack, quack, quack! I was bemused by the arrival of these small visitors, but I see they are companions of yours. What a rare thing for my abode to be thus crowded. How may I be of service to you? Hello, Watcher. My purpose here is to learn more about the ancients. I would know of their deeds, their philosophies, the very nature of their hearts. I would understand why the final days was visited upon my home star. A worthy endeavour, but there is another better suited to assisting you with that task. Perhaps you might favour us with a tale or two of the ancients you met during your travels, Elita. My fragmented memories would be a pale substitute indeed for the clarity of your more recent experiences. I'm so tiny! Yes, I can envision every detail. Your meeting with Venat and Emmet Selk and Hythlodaeus, the sorrow and determination of Hermes. I am a creation of Hydaelyn, and as such I believe the age of the ancients would fade and be forgotten. Yet knowing that their memory lives so vividly within you, it brings me great joy. I pray you keep them close to your heart. At the time of your journey to the past, the one whose essence I embody would have been a scholar at Einder. A shame. Had you reason to go there, perhaps you might have met. As a man of learning, he was firm friends with Venat. They spent long hours trading theories, or debating the laws of the universe. I remember joining her faction as the final days bore down upon us. Yet of the events surrounding that tragedy, I recall precious little. Hydaelyn wished for the people of your age to decide their own path. Thus I suspect my recollection was limited by design. Yet even she could not cut away one's persistent memory. I feel most distinctly his sadness at what was to come to pass, that in becoming Hydaelyn's heart, Venat would forever stand apart from the people she so loved. If she were so resolved in her convictions, then he too would share her sleepless vigil over the future yet to unfold. Thus was the vow he made to Venat, as her transformation took hold. His fervent wish must have reached her in some fashion, for though his life was drained away by the summoning, He was reborn with new form and new purpose when I awoke as the Watcher of the Moon. As you heard, Elita, you felt, you thought, and in seizing the future for yourselves, have you brought full circle the saga which Venat began. What you accomplished was no divine miracle, it was but the beacon of hope, passed down from one generation to the next, a succession of wishes and prayers, reshaping the star into the world you knew you deserved. You have our deepest gratitude. I thank you not only as myself, but as the man I once was, and on behalf of those who devoted themselves to Venat's vision. Bloop, bloop. I understand the facts of your story, Elita, but not how you have chosen to process them. On what grounds do you speak of Venat with such fondness? By sundering the world, she ultimately guided your kind to victory, yet in doing so caused irreparable damage to its individual members. The full scale of that act is beyond calculation. It is evident, however, that it resulted in a protracted period of suboptimal existence for Emet-Selch and his brethren. Query: if the survival of your kind is a deciding factor in your evaluation, then should you not also admire Hermes and his decision to subject man to trial, forcing you to change or perish, as was the fate of countless civilizations before you? From my perspective, his determination was similar to that of the Omnicron's ancestors, those who first began trading flesh for machine so that our people might stand against the onslaught of aggression from other races. It was an unprecedented attempt, accompanied by much failure and sacrifice. Their earlier experiments were crude, primitive. Had they not made those first advances, however, we would have remained vulnerable to our environment. The violence would have utterly consumed us. And what of Emet-Selch himself? Judging by your retelling, he was a benevolent ally saddled with a tragic fate. Yet I remember the years when my instruments fed me data from events across the entire star. During that time I witnessed his Ascians engineer multiple instances of cataclysm strife. These calamities, as you know them, were responsible for planet-wide destruction. A man whose endgame relied upon the extinction of all modern mortals must, by definition, be your worst enemy. I require an answer. As a being of heart and soul, how do you classify each of these pivotal figures? From your perspective, which of them was most justified in their actions? Venat. I think I understand. You seek a definitive answer, yet based upon our experience, Elita and I might develop very different opinions. In the same fashion, you are free to form your own thoughts on the matter. Do not be so swift to consider them without merit. I do not have my own thoughts on the matter. I assess each situation with the same logical pathways available to every Omnicron. Even if 1,000 Omnicrons were asked to analyze the same event, they would all return to the same result. Regardless of individual experience, there is no strength to be found in fractured reasoning. Nonetheless, I find your input valuable, recording data alongside interview results. This concludes my investigation into the incomplete elements of the final day's report. I will reanalyze the accumulated information and examine the factors which led to Sir's incomprehensible decision. Let us return to Thelmazen. It was pleasant to hear tales of Elpis. Should you ever need an audience familiar with the subject, I would be glad to listen to more of your recollections. Even with one gaze fixed upon the future, we oftentimes find our thoughts drifting to the past. 'Tis a shame that Heidelin never chose to speak of it. It took me a while to think of my decision to the answer. I chose Vinat because she wanted to preserve those. Her actions I felt were more justified. She didn't seek an end to others for the sake of the future. She wanted a future where all could live. In Emmett's world, he would see his world restored, but at the loss of all of us. In Hermes' world, he would see all life disappear from existence. Vinat was the only one who seen hope in the future. in what truly could be for all people. That's why I made that decision. I could probably word it a bit better, but quick! Blip. You had a fruitful trip, I hope. I am absolutely bursting to ask you about your experience with the Omega, but I do not wish to be a pest. I will swallow my questions for now and maintain my academic decorum. Besides, it seems our engineering friends are in a hurry to leave. Elita, I wasn't sure you'd be back in time. Ah, there you are. Right at the last moment. Your journey with Omega was proper educational, I hope? We'd planned to ask you all about it in that mystery transmission besides, but I'm afraid something urgent has come up. Seems one of our Ironworks associates has followed up a job elsewhere, and Jesse needs wedging me to rush in and lend a hand. There's an airship already waiting for us out in the harbour, in fact. Do you think you could escort us there and talk as we walk? Blip. Acceptable. I am fully capable of speech during ambulation. I figured you might be. Right. Let's get a move on then. So, you cleared up all those points of confusion then? I had mistakenly classified your intangible heart as an ability of some kind. An uncanny power that Omicrons could never learn nor measure. Even now, its full nature yet eludes my comprehension. Based upon our investigations, however, I have decided to alter my definition. A phenomenon which influences one's interpretation of reality. That is as close to an answer as I have found. Accordingly, Sir's actions upon meeting Meteon strongly indicate the presence of a heart. Sir did not follow the routine logic, but formulated an independent assessment based upon the reality it perceived. It felt that the best recourse for the Omnicrons was to cease their expansion and terminate all functions. Well, here's our ship. Aye, we need to be going, but first, I'll hold you to your bargain, Omega. If It's time you told us what was in that transmission from the flight logs. Acknowledged. I will uphold the terms of our agreement. The recording salvage from the Ragnarok was a simple one. The message is so basic, in fact, that the time spent listening to it may result in net loss of value. Shall I continue? Now you're just teasing. Tell us the message already. Acknowledged. Converting dialect coding to local language. To whomever receives this message out there in the vast reaches of the cosmos. To someone, I hope, who looks up at the stars with the same wistful gaze as mine. To you I say, forge ahead. May all our tomorrows be blessed with joy. This message had no designated recipient, it lacks purpose. The concept of joy is overly abstract. The vocal supplication to manifest said joy is unrealistic in its optimism. Yet based upon their expressions, my assessment of the transmission's value conflicts with its apparent impact. And still, I fail to understand you, sir. Your heart still confuses me. Was termination of everything the correct choice? Course? How did you arrive at this conclusion? It defies all my attempts at reasoning. But I was designed to evolve. If I continue to learn, the probability that I eventually comprehend this phenomenon is greater than zero. So I will put the dilemma of your decision aside for now. And continue my existence upon this distant star. As I dwell among these many life forms, so will I continue to piece together the complex shape of their mortal hearts. I must document their progress. Your contribution to my education is appreciated, Elita. Indeed, I have amassed a satisfying quantity of valuable data. Now that our negotiated business is completed, however, Alpha and I will return to traveling the world. Drawing on recent experience, I am confident we can expand the radius of our ventures by a significant margin. We need not limit ourselves to Eorzea. I am now familiar with Charlene and Razatan, and would like to revisit the freezing climes of Garlemald. I neglected to instruct Biggs and Wedge to upgrade my climate shielding. Blip. I will reroute my request to Deputy President Jesse. Engaging ambulation and parting salutations. Farewell, Elita. Alpha gives a vigorous shake and draws forth a scrap of paper from under his wing.
Where?
It seems he wants you to have it. Perhaps this is his way of thanking you. Swiftly, Alpha. The road is long and we have barely begun our journey. Mario wants you to promote the Hippos Riders. I promised the boss I'd try and get the cart rolling, but lazing about here ain't exactly gonna make a job of it. It ain't much, but I tried making some handbills. You think you can pass them out around the Aldermad? Tell folks that they bring back one of these, they'll get a discount. That sounds professional, right? Anyhow, I'll leave the talking to you. I know you'll explain it good. Now there's a creative consternation about the hill of where. One of our new recruits has been taking a sweet time with delivery. Yeah, it's that one, yeah. Mario looks ready to get bright and messy. Wanna go throw stuff at locals? It's a lot more fun than you might imagine. What's that look for? I ain't up to no good or nothing, that's what you're thinking. There's an old island tradition that says pelting folks with coloured powder, very soft, protects them from evil, and brings good fortune. Each colour even has its own particular blessing. Red for health, blue for tranquility, yellow for plenty, and so on. I thought we could throw some from our carts to promote the Hippo Riders. It'll get our name out there, plus give an excuse to start communicating with more folks. But why not see for yourself? Maybe start at Palika's stand. They got hit hard by the final days, so feel free to start flinging it at all by Sun's way. Talk to Vata over there, he'll set you up with one of our carts. Happy tossing. Hello, Elita. Heading over the Palika stand, are we? I've loaded your cart with a classic selection of gulal. Here's an easy way to remember what's what. Fighters see red, and nervous saps get the blues. And yellow, well, you just gotta remember yellow's for plenty. Now don't you? Right then, off you go. The stand over there. Ah, it can fly. Flying hippos, go! All quiet on the drunken front, so far anyway. Such a beautiful, vibrant colour, and that distinctive pleasant aroma. It may take a while to wash off, but that's simply part of the fun. Red Ghoul is known to nurture good health and ward away injury. I dare say I'll be able to finish my patrol without incident today. What's to become of this village defences? Not to mention the temples, there's far too much to do. What a refreshing hue, blue for a peaceful spirit. I can't remember the last time I spared a moment for happiness like this. There's still so much to be done, but it is precisely in such trying times that one must find and maintain inner peace. Thank you for reminding me of this. I gotta find the girl. It's yellow. We'll have supplies to last at this rate, but we can afford to order more. What to do? How bright and brilliant, like a shower of sunshine, bringing us Gulal during these hard times. You hippo riders know just what the island needs. Watching our supplies dwindle had me in a state of great unease, but with you watching for with your blessing for plenty, I feel more optimistic. I hope fortune favours you with the same kindness you have shown me. I must go now, my planet needs me. Whee! You have business with me? An ambitious stack of homemade adverts created with a little skill but lots of heart. A startup delivery service by Hippocart? And here I thought chocobo carriages were the only viable option. What an intriguing angle. I only load off luggage, so delivery arrangements are out of my hands. But I'll take this to my friends at the Harbour Guild. They may yet find some use for it. I'll be sure to pass this along. Something for me? Oh, the Hippo Riders. I knew a fellow who works there. Nothing would make me happier than supporting Arcadosa-run business like this. I simply must find something for them to deliver. May I help you? A delivery service, by Hippocart no less. This is perfect timing. It just so happens that I need a parcel delivered to the Giant Skull grounds without delay. Fastest on the island, are they? I shall certainly put them to the test. Thank you. I'll head over straight away. Oh, he's talking to someone else this time. This man has been standing there, squirming in silence for some time. Is he in distress? He appears to be in deep thought, but I'm not certain why he wishes I bear witness to it. I knew what I was going to say, but now I can't remember nothing. Have you a written list of your objectives? Oh, that's right. I wrote it down, didn't I? Because I knew something like this might happen. Ha! I got so nervous I even forgot that I remembered I'd forget. Thanks, miss. I think I'll be alright. Tell Mary that I'll be back soon. Handed out the handbills, have you? I'm glad we piqued some interest. Handing out adverts ain't glamorous, but it sure gets the job done. I'll keep thinking up new ways of getting her name out there. Come by again when you've got the time. So that's what he was up to. Thanks for steering him through. His nerves can get the better of him, but he's downright stubborn about helping him out with deliveries. We'll keep him running down so that's closer to home, but I hope you won't be averse to helping him time again when he needs it. I know it means the world to him. Welcome back. Judging by your smudgy hands, I'm assuming it went well. Our galil is made from Hannish recipe. It uses turmeric, bilva, and some other medicinal herbs, so it's actually pretty good for you. So says the alchemist who taught me how to make it. But the most important agreement, according to that alchemist, is the prayer you've got in your heart to the person you're throwing it at. I don't know much about the science of it, but they say galil works. And if we were able to spread some cheer to even a few people, that's good enough for me. Trina's eyes are sparkling with optimism, but the baleful look Mara shoots you from afar tells a different story. Elita! Here to see how we're getting along, are you? Let me go and grab Maru. Thanks to your help and Kankana's odd jobs, we've been keeping our carts rolling and staying out of trouble. Communicating with the locals still feels daunting at times, but Maru here's made some galil to break the ice. Maybe you don't know what I'm talking about. Galil is this bright-coloured powder used in some of Thavnir's religious traditions. There's an old belief that you'll be blessed with good luck and spared from evil if a visitor sprinkles you with a healthy handful. It's enough to make even the most stubborn buggers happy to welcome us. Sisters know it's been nothing but bad business for everyone lately. I reckon even a little extra luck would do us all good. That it would. Though our own luck might be better if my girl Sorry I didn't start galloping with glee when she gets so much of a glimpse of the stuff. But all in all, we've been getting our name out there and learning the job. Might be slow going, but we're making good progress. But boss, is slow going really going to cut it? So long as I get to ride, I ain't got no problems, but... Our carts aren't exactly designed for hauling cargo. No one beats us for speed, but practically speaking... Sooner or later, some silver-tongued dab hand's gonna come along with carriages or boats that can carry loads of packages. And then where will we be? Out of work, I swear. Our carts might not be best a carriage in fright, but it's like you said, Maru, at speed we're unbeatable. If only there was some way to make the most of it, to offer a service that no one else could do better. Don't look at me, maybe your customers will have some ideas. True, we won't get anywhere marinating in our own juices. Let's ask around and see what speedy services folks might need. Is what I'd say if I knew the first thing about making small talk, which I don't. Help me out? Let's start at the great work. I've got a delivery request from the alchemist there, so me and Surya will head over first. I'll meet you by the ether right after I've picked up the goods. You hid by the Etherite but see no sign of Trina. We should have arrived before you. Has trouble befallen her? Perhaps you should search the area for wayward hippos. What the? You're amazing. You put down that beast like it was nothing. Thank you. Oh, thank you. You really saved our skins, Elita. Me and Syria zipped over when we heard yelping, but it was everything I could do just to keep that beast at bay. And I don't know what would have become of me if you hadn't. Allow me to express my sincerest gratitude. Anyway, am I imagining things, or does it smell like fruit around here? If I was a Vajralangua, I'd come running too. You've a sharp nose, miss. Yes, I was in Yedamad on an errand when a merchant bade me take this fruit, insisting it was delicious and perfectly ripe. How was I to know every beast in Saltwind's welcome should agree with his claims wholeheartedly? I thought escaping that herd of drooling Gaja would be the worst of it, but my hopes were fruitless, as it were. Well, the next time you've got something to haul, call the Hippo Riders. Me and my associates do fast, safe deliveries by hippo cart. Yes, I've heard talk of hippo couriers as of late. Never did I imagine one would come speeding to my rescue. I will absolutely call on your services in the future. I'm going to load his fruit onto the cart and see him into town. I've still got to pick up that package, so come find me inside the Great Work, this time for sure. Here's our customer. Let's pick up the goods and get going. Ah, you're the couriers, aren't you? You're here. You're already here. Huh? But you're with the students of Baldessian, aren't you? What business have you with our parcel? I don't know about any Baldessian students or nothing, but Elita's helping out with our new delivery service. Really? Supporting small businesses? How grand! So, can I have the goods now? Well, you see, that is to say, it's not quite ready yet. I overslept is the thing, just a tiny bit. So I was rushing to get it all prepared. That's when I made this truly minuscule error in the formula, and it, well, exploded. Quite explosively. Exploded? That's, my condolences. In that case, I'll just hang around here while you're getting it ready. No rush. Let's go and do the talking thing while we wait. See what our potential customers need most right now. My colleagues unceremoniously ejected me from the laboratory, but they're hard at work getting the shipment together, I promise you. Alright, conversations, here we come. The alchemists here are an odd bunch, eh? Including our latest customer kind of feels like a step into another dimension or something. Do I need anything? Well, the Radiant host used up its entire stock of medicinal supplies during the final days, so requests for replenishment keep pouring in without end. I can't remember the last time I sat down for dinner with my family. It seems like a different lifetime by now. That's, unfortunate. I wish I could help, but I don't know the first thing about medicine. I hope I can eat dinner with my family again someday. While I still have a family, that is. The alchemists here are an odd bunch, eh? Including our latest customer. Kinda feels like I've stepped into another dimension or something. Oh yeah, let's take that. I heard by way of a merchant near the mud that trade will be open up again soon. Thankfully, we should be able to get all the ingredients we need now. Do I need something? Why, I'm glad you asked. I depleted my stores of honey. I haven't a moment to spare such trivial affairs as eating, but cognitive function dramatically increases without regular sustenance, so I came up with a brilliant scheme. Lick honey throughout the day for quick and easy nourishment. Only now there's none to be had, and I've looked it all up. We could start barkeeping, I guess. Honey hippos does have a ring to it. And again, I'm not sure how many people use a high-speed honey service. I suppose I'll have to order more honey, or perhaps invent a comparable substance to lick. What's this? What's this? Do I need this, that, or the other? No, I'm flying free and feeling fine. I finished all my assigned work, which means I now have 3 delicious days for my personal research. I'll eat and sleep when I'm dead. Until then, alchemy! Right then, congratulations. There are so many formulas to try. What if I just try them all at the same time? Alright, I think I've got a good sense of things. Let's head back and see if the goods are ready. I'm ever so sorry to have kept you waiting. It's all here, packed up safely and hardly singed at all. I would like you to take this to a colleague of mine at Palika's stand. He's an alchemist named Yazin. Well built for a bookish type, handsome. You can't miss him. Ah, I know Yazan. Oh, you're acquainted, are you? What a small world indeed. He's still the same as ever, watching over his little one at Palika's stand alike. He requested replenishments for medical supplies, so hopefully this should tide them over. I also threw in a handful of finished samples, and the whole explosion incident stays between us, yes? Now, if you'll excuse me, I should eat something before my hands start shaking again. Oh, but do give him my regards. These alchemists don't stop for nothing. Even meals. Ain't no denying that their work's important, but it's a miracle they haven't all keeled over by now. What if the Vitals came to them? But I'm getting ahead of myself. This package ain't going to ride to Palika's stand on its lonesome. Introduce me to this Yazin when we get there, will you? Do, 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 do. And away we go. Is this Yazan? He is pretty sturdy looking. Elita, what a pleasant surprise. I knew a shipment would be arriving soon, but I never expected you to be with it. Are you playing the part of Carter these days, then? The alchemist who sent this said it's herbs for medicine, and something about finished samples too. Is that so? I know how busy the work keeps them. It's very generous of them to send ready concoctions. I want to get straight to work replenishing our medicinal stores, so your prompt arrival is welcome indeed. Oh, if it's prompt you want, then you gotta look no further. The Hippo Riders deliver anything anywhere in a flash. Of course. We're always fine-tuning our carts and services so as to better serve the area. So seeing as you're the one looking out for our folks over here, I want to pitch you an idea. My impression is that folks over at the Great Work are so busy they barely have time to eat. That can't be good for the alchemy, not to mention the alchemists. So I'm thinking we start delivering fresh food by Hunger, Harry and Hippo. Only starting a service for just a handful of peaky alchemists ain't exactly going to pay the rent. You think folks here could use some grub runners? I do believe so. It has been a long tradition to send food to those working in the jungle, so I'm fairly certain you'll find our residents amenable to such service. As these hot and humid climes tend to spoil foodstuff easily, we like to deliver meals as soon as they're prepared. However, transporting victuals in this jungle can prove somewhat dangerous. You mean the smell that attracts all sorts of hungry critters, right? Precisely. And with our fighting fit currently healing or engaged in other matters, we simply haven't the manpower to spare on escorting meals. But our hippos are a different story. A hippo can outrun most anything in this jungle, so you ain't gotta worry about that front. Thanks for weighing in. I gotta consult with my associates, but something tells me you can look forward to fresh meals from now on. Call it a lunch hunch. Alright, Elita, let's head back to Svarna for our team meeting. It was just as you said, Elita. Asking around earned us some bright ideas. You think of something good, boss? Food, Maru. Eat. We're going to deliver meals with these wheels. Eat. Mouth-watering meals delivered wherever, whenever. I wish I could order something. We got it cinched, boss. Ain't nothing that'll deliver faster or fresher on our carts. Hold your hippos, Maru. We still gotta sort something out. Where are we getting this food in the first place? Taking meals from Palakistan to the jungle is one thing. But if we've gotta ride all the way to Yedamad or Yvazat-san for ready-mades... good point. Popular dishes will be hard to keep in stock. What if we had a kitchen here? We could make our own meals. Yeah, fresh ingredients from merchants in Yedamad, the daily catch from fishers in Ayaki. And most importantly, we get an endless supply of food. I might be a genius, boss. Wait here. I'll have a kitchen going in no time. Good soup. Oh, wow. Thanks to Maru's enthusiasm, Svarna has a new kitchen. The Hippo Rider's reputation has risen from formerly delinquent carters to make the most of their expanded services to help improve their social standing. You have achieved such a reputation with the Hippo Riders. A new Arctos tribal quests are now available from Maru in Sparna. Yay! Reputation bonus! Woo! I think the key to happiness may be finding the person who looks the same way as Maru looks at our new kitchen. I can already tell the meals we make are gonna be fresh, delicious, and prepared with love. Shall I compare thee to a summer's tandoor? Thou art more licorice and more tempting. Rough winds do... Oh... Elita! Sorry, I was just thinking about a new kitchen. Let's see... I'll need all 3 of these to level up. Elita, we're in a delicate situation here. I need you to bring me a huge sack of Hamza eggs straight away. Nilopala nourishment is making a riddance, so I had our man in the city buy a whole host of eggs while the buying's good. Only eggs are too fragile to transport by hippo cart, and he's still out on delivery. Could you hustle over to him and pick up that sack of eggy goodness for me? He's waiting for you west of Wakeful Tirana. Make sure nothing cracks on your way back. Maru seems distressed by pungent plant life. Elita, there's an avasala grown by Pavana's remorse that I'd like to nip in the bud, or seed as it were. Normally you send someone to burn it, or jungles have enough of those things wiggling around as it is. Only this time I hear from the kitchen that one of our cooks wants to use it for, well, just thinking, it gives me the creeps. Anyway, could you go around and get it for me? Avanza seeds are naturally coated in poison, so you'll need to douse it with the antidote first, and bring it back in one piece. Don't lose a hand doing it. Maru is vexed by monkey business. Having fresh food around the place is truly a blessing, but our kitchen's caught the attention of some Hanuman langurs, and the boss wants it sorted now. I reckon if we reel them in with the scent of our Hippo Rider specials, we can use different sorts of smell to drive them out. Namely gulal. It ain't toxic, but jungle creatures can't stand its unique aroma. Talk to Vata and he'll tell you what sort of gulal makes a Hanuman langur gag. Oh, and take a cart while you're at it. We want those langurs to know that our hippos mean business. Stenchy business. More salt maybe? Grub's fresh. I can get my little wind-up Arcadosa. It comes with mozzed tea covered. The Hippo Riders turn to the great work to create these mammoths as gifts for the patrons. Garbed in a traditional Thavnarian outfit, they both appeal as a local souvenir, and the redouble of merchants of Yaldamald are eyeing ways to profit from them. Never have I felt so invigorated to have such a mighty Arcadosa fighting by my side. Okay, fine, never mind. Nope, it doesn't say claim on board. How's it rolling? Out to fling pigment at langurs, are we? Through proper research and such like, I've learned that yellow gulal is most effective for driving away Hanneman langurs. Or maybe I accidentally hit one when I was throwing a blessing for plenty one day, and haven't stopped laughing since, who's to say? Just don't forget, you've got a hippo yoke to your cart, eh? In the immortal words of my mum, those who don't hold on fall off. Ta-da! The recipe of this curative tonic is a cherished secret of the vaunted House Demir. The fizzling of the antidote subsides and you successfully extract around a vasta seed. Savannah's cook should be delighted. Report back to Maru with your find. A particularly smelly seed, now prevented from maturing into a particularly smelly avasta. So basically Fafniri immortals. That's me. Maru got you the message? Good, because I've been sitting on these eggs. Not literally, of course. I'll be back on the road as soon as I sort these packages, but make sure you get those to Maru before they spoil in this heat. When I relayed how many Maru wanted, the hamster handler thought I was jesting. Careful not to crack any on your way back, eh? It's a full bag. You're back, and the eggs? I went back, filled the burst with plentiful returns of some of the Kiki hamster. Nothing broken, nothing spoiled, another excellent job by Elita. Too much? Hamster eggs are a standard ingredient in loads of Clanvarian recipes, but they spoil quicker than you might think. Hence the Nilopala's resistances. Ever since they rediscovered those hamster from the old hatchery, they've been overflown with eggs that have to sell without delay. Lucky for us, our menu thrives on hamster eggs. Rich masala omelets, spicy kai jio, deep-fried tire blalo. The possibilities are endless. Thank you for your help, Elita, and feel free to pay a visit to our kitchen anytime. I ain't even gotta ask. You got that seed? Tessa spared me that wretched scent. Thanks, I guess. These aren't rare in Vansapati, but there ain't no getting used to them. But the cook should be pleased, divinities help us all. Supposedly draining the poison and soaking the rotten thing in spirits makes for an amazing liquor. Ain't no way I'd ever drink it, but I suppose someone will. You're yellow up to your elbows. I bet the Lancors can smell you from miles away. Still, something tells me we haven't seen the last of them. So might I borrow your throw name again before long? The pungent Lalafell can scarcely conceal his excitement. Wait, I know you. We met in Kugani. You're the stone-cold killer I asked to look after the love of my life. What's that look for? Surely you haven't forgotten me. You and me, we had a moment, a connection. Not like the one I've got with her, of course, but I know I left an impression. The creepy little bastard who smells like cheese and followed Nashu to Gagani after stalking her for over 5 years. Hey, there's nothing creepy about my love. It's as pure as the pristine waters of a forest stream. Fair point about the cheese stink, though. But enough about me, this is about Miss Nashu. Ever since she got sucked into that weird portal back east, I've been scouring the world for any sign of her. I was this close to giving up, but then, huzzah! I found her here in Razazan. Normally I'd be happy to get back to playing the silent invisible guardian, but she seems pretty distressed by the plight of her inspector friend. He's here too, but laid up and showing no signs of waking up anytime soon. My Nashu has been fashioning all sorts of medicines in the hope of rousing him, but to no avail. I mean, I couldn't care less if he kicked the bucket, but I hate seeing her like this. She's liable to work herself to death. Oh, what say you? Will you deliver my dearest Nashu from her plight? You'll find her over at the High Crucible, no doubt slaving over an almanac. And with that, I'll get back to cheering her on from the shadows. You too, I guess. Now go quickly, save my beloved. Nashu! And that should do it. Now to take this medicine and... Elita! It feels like it's been forever, though definitely less than a year, I'm sure. What brings you to Razazan? Enjoying a spot of adventuring, or perhaps... Then you've heard! It's true! Inspector Hildebrand's gone into hibernation again, and... Ah, wait, you're giving me that look? The one that screams, what about the whole weird portal business? Alright, since you silently asked... So, back on the Ruby Sea, remember how Greg got doused with dew prism and was forced to whisk us all far away? How that strange rift opened up, which the inspector then got sucked up into, and how I followed him in right after that? Well, after that, we all ended up in this bizarre place. Couldn't tell up from down, left from right, and so we wandered lost and confused. Fortunately, Greg came to his senses and explained we were in the interspectorial rift, and then used the same trick to bring us home. Greg himself stayed behind though, something about a score he had to settle. Not sure what that was about, but hey, you know Greg. Anyway, we're back now, but the rub is that Inspector Hildebrand hasn't opened his eyes once. I know he needs his beauty sleep, but it's been an awfully long time and we've got cases to solve. I've been trying my hand at apothecary stuff, seeing if I can't make something that'll get him to up and moving, but nothing that seems to work. But I think we're making progress. Me and Mr. Chupacabra from the Shasuku concern, that is. You remember Mr. Chupacabra, right? Got sucked into the rift along with us? Former evil mastermind? Not so bad once you get to know him.
Pleased I am to meet you once more, and under less compromising circumstances. If I may correct our mutual friend, I am Jubraka, chairman of the Sahaja concern. Your distrustful and somewhat blustery glare is not unwarranted, but in my defence, who among us has not contemplated enslaving the rich and powerful to bend the world to their whim? Ha ha ahem. I pray you forgive my poor joke, and allow me to assure you that I am wandering the interdimensional rift for the sisters only know how long. I am a changed man. Naturally, I understand that words alone would not suffice to absolve me of my sins. Thus, since my return, I have operated a humble apothecary that caters to the needs of one and all. Furthermore, I made arrangements for Miss Nash's workshop. Rest assured that I will spare no effort in helping her see Inspector Hildebrand awakened and return to full health. And with that, if you would excuse me, I must see to other business.
Isn't he the nicest ex-villain you've ever met? Ah, but that's right. I had just finished my latest medicine. I've got high hopes for this new recipe. Medicine might not do us any good. Really? Well, you've seen all kinds of amazing things in your travels, so maybe you'll be able to tell what's wrong with the inspector if you get a look at him yourself. He's resting in a room up in Kama. Let's go. Isn't this room nice? Master Chupacabra's taken care of everything, even paid the rent in full. Ah, but I'm distracting you, aren't I? You need to concentrate while you examine the inspector, yes? Study the sleeping Inspector Hildebrand. Move the camera as well as the night there. Beside the bed, Hildebrand's loyal assistant Nashu dozes peacefully. Her ability to stay calm in the most trying of times has been sorely tested of late. Pereira, the master of the house, searches the shelves with a remarkable dexterity for one
so large of body and limb. He's breathing at least. Rugged features belay what at a closer glance the sensitive mien of a cultured gentleman. While he still breathes, he appears to be locked in a deep slumber. Rippling muscles bespeak impressive strength, while smooth skin suggests that only the rarest of occasions does this man resort to violence. Troublingly, his limbs are stiff and cool to the touch, as if the blood runs cold in his veins. The exquisite buckles of the stylish footwear are a design unique to House Mandeville, who'd almost certainly felt the inspector's condition is disturbingly reminiscent of the Scions, who were summoned to the First for a time. Finished already? Any theories at what could be wrong with the inspector? I suspect he may have been summoned to another reflection. I mean, I don't. But that's what you're supposed to say at times like this. I know that much. How do we wake him up? Return his soul to his body? But where did it go? And what is it doing there? Probably went to the First to become the Gentleman of Darkness, as you do. I see. Right. So, can you go there? Great. In that case, I'll leave the soul searching to you. I'm sure it goes without saying, but once you've arrived in this otherworldly world, look for a place that smells of mystery and intrigue, and chat with the people there. That's standard Agent of Inquiry protocol. Oh, and since this is Inspector Hildebrand we're talking about, don't be surprised if you find him asleep or having forgotten a thing or two. But not to worry, I prepared my traditional medicine, just in case. Don't hesitate to use it. And with that, do take care out there. When in doubt, use Nash's Delights to blow the cobwebs right out of the Inspector. We'll thank you after, I'm sure. The girl's a friend of yours, is she? She's welcome to stay as long as she likes. I do hope our friend recovers soon, though. Sleeping on the floor hasn't been good for my back. Welcome back, friend. I'd offer you a pint, but my barman sense tells me that's not why you're here. So, this friend of yours has gone missing. Sorry to hear that, but plenty of travellers pass through these parts. Could you describe the fellow to me? Yumi, burly, wears a monocle, well-meaning idiot. Yes, that sounds familiar. I didn't see him myself, but I do believe one of our bounty hunters spied such a man when you were all battling that horde of spectral warriors. Biot, come here a moment. There's someone who wants to speak with you. Ah, that's so. Make it quick. This ale ain't gonna drink itself. Yeah, if it ain't Elita, what brings you back to our neck in the woods? Now that you mention it, I did see something like that back there on the battlefield after you ran off to do more hero work. At first I thought he was going to attack me like the rest of the spirit Watsits, but no, he just stood there striking a pose, trying to scare or seduce me, damned if I could tell. Still, he wasn't glowing and I wasn't about to take any chances, so I said, "Hey, piss off, ghost," and sent him packing. Did he die, you ask? To which I say, what am I, a Shikirjan? Also, I've kept my mug waiting long enough. Good talk. Could it be the Warrior of Darkness? I thought that was your voice, but was convinced my ears were playing tricks on me. It's good to see you again. They didn't mean to eavesdrop, but we overheard you discussing the renegade poser. We've been searching for him for some time now. There have been sightings in Lakeland, you see. Vonard and I have been tasked with getting to the bottom of it. We've little in the way of useful information, though. All we know is that he appears without warning and strikes a disturbing pose. He's not caused any harm, if you discount the shock of a strange man gesticulating in your general direction, that is. Nevertheless, we're worried his behaviour might escalate. Have you been tasked with apprehending the miscreant as well? Not quite, Vonard. Elita's come back to track down a missing friend. Your miscreant, I regret to say, might be my friend. If the man you're looking for might be the one the same, then why not work together? Between the three of you, you're bound to have better luck. It would be an honour and a great help. We were just about to leave to gather testimony as it happens. Come and join us in Sullen when you've finished here. We'll solve this mystery in no time. You've always kept interesting company, that's for sure. I don't know if it would be better or worse if this poser is your friend, but I wish you the best of luck. At loose ends, are you? You're welcome to loiter about here if you intend to spend some coin while you're at it. Not that I'm not grateful for the business you've brought in, mind. The hunters here are here even more often now that we're working together, and their accounts never go unsettled for long. They're a pain in the arse to serve, of course. Maybe I'll drop your name next time I need them to behave. Still, it's nice to feel something grand is in motion again. Perhaps Arbert rubbed off me more than I anticipated.
There is doubtless much I can learn working bounty hunter, especially with Tanner as my guide. The other hunters aren't half bad at killing stuff, but we need to work on their drinking habits. Who drinks wine with dinner? Training like that was nice. It was never easy way back then, but I missed it. I'm glad Tanner's made a friend his own age. Bit on the odd side, but aren't we all? I swear, when it's nice and peaceful in the world, it's utter pandemonium here at the bar. Folk find any and every reason to celebrate and overindulge. Like as not. And we have to deal with the aftermath. At least it fills up the coffers, I suppose. Oh, don't fret so. I've already told Miss Olivia that I'll be in the Crystallium for the time being. The opportunity was just too good to pass up. Think of all we could do with all those hunters together. They're a good lot, the other hunters. They really care about Unakai and saving the world and all. I'm happy to help however I can. Except for the drinking. Count me out with that. Oh, would you, Warrior of Darkness? The night may have returned, but gods know we still have a fair share of trials. You're always welcome here if you prefer to forget about things for a while. Or remember them if you prefer. You look kind. Oh, that fellow. I saw him the other day on way back home from Claremont. I enjoyed one too many libations after my bath and ended up wandering off into the forest. Before I knew it, the sun was dipping low and the sky turning dark, and I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever make it home, and I felt a gentle tug at my arm. And would you believe it, this odd-looking man led me out of the forest and set me back on the road. I thanked him profusely, but he said nothing in reply, just struck this pose and walked off. If you see the fellow, tell him to come and visit. I owe him a drink or two for his kindness. Did I see him? You bet I did. I was crossing through the forest of the Lost Shepherd, on my way to deliver fish from the Austral Imperative. Out of nowhere, this odd man leapt in front of me. I thought he was a bandit at first, but then he abruptly turned to the side, curled his neck, and put his fist to his head as if to say,
I don't know. It was baffling. I ran when I realized he wasn't going to do anything else. I do hope you find that strange, man. He may just be a nuisance for now, but we shouldn't have to suffer posing vagabonds.
Oh yes, I saw someone like that when I was out picking mushrooms in the forest. He even spoke to me. I was repulsed at first by his form, but he only wanted to warn me that fell beasts lurk in the forest, and that I should be wary. Contrary to appearances, I see he was actually quite gentlemanly. He may look scary, but he's quite the gentleman. Why else would he have warned me about the monsters?
To be honest, I'm not sure what to make of all this.
Finished questioning the locals, have you?
Were you able to learn anything?
Not only has the poser caused no harm, he's even helped people?
So he's a gentleman, albeit a suspicious one. Something of a contradiction, you might say, but there's no reason to doubt what we heard.
Everyone seemed to encounter him in the forest of the Lost Shepherd, right? Then that's where we shall look next, shall we?
On the other hand, some folks might argue a suspicious gentleman is more dangerous than a man blatantly in his villainy. This gentlemanliness could be a ruse to mask all kinds of evil intentions.
Well, here we are. But how exactly are we supposed to begin our search? These woods are, well, woods.
Got a plan, do you? Far be it from me to doubt the Warrior of Darkness.
Show us what you've got in mind, and we'll back you up to the best of our ability.
Yes. Hark! What familiar gentlemanly gyrations are these? On your guard, it's a sin-eater! No, wait, that's no sin-eater. It's the Gentleman of Light. Gentleman of Light? Who is this Gentleman of Light of whom you speak? I am the Forgiven Gentleman, Devourer of Sins, Light Warden Extraordinaire. You might occasionally moonlight as a zombie overlord, but trust me, you're a gentleman inspector. Inspector, Sin-Eater, Inspector, Sin-Eater. You're acquainted with this, gentleman? Right then, clearly your friend has been through a lot, but still, how did he get his head in it's in his head he's a Sin-Eater? Is there no way to bring back his memories? Where's it carrying that? Explosives? We're still trying to save him, right? Oh my god! Oh God, I'm dying. Wicked fight, they've killed him. Oh, oh. I say, Elita, I had resigned myself to Nasha's ungentle methodology, but you too, my brutish friend? But never mind that. I do not recall the world being quite so purple. Previously, I was with Neshu and Greg, wandering the bizarre, shadowy realm known as the Interspectorial Rift. Where am I? Who am I? That sickening light, that aggressive posturing. I know what you are. You're one of them, ain't you? What you need's a good old-fashioned dwarven decking. Piss off, ghost! Run for your lives! It's a sin eater! A sin eater? I'll be damned, I saw a vision of the man's past. No wonder he became convinced he was a sin-eater. I saw it too. It was quite possibly the most ridiculous memory I've ever glimpsed. Answer me, my faithful assistant. Where are we? And why is it so purple? The first? The first what? Are you telling me we somehow traveled to an entirely different world? Good gods, to think that I have transcended the very boundaries of time and space. But worry not, my adoring fans. Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, will return to you forthwith. I can't help but feel that this is not what the echo was intended for. Explosions. Dwarven Decans, is there nothing this man can't withstand?
Hildebrand is back and full of spectral beams. While I've enjoyed what time I spent in this far-flung forest, I can remember we should be getting back to our own world soon. Would you happen to know how we might go about doing that? Restore my soul with a spirit vessel? Say no more! Your cursory description was more than enough for me to grasp the concept completely. It is not unlike brewing the perfect cup of coffee, which means our task is clear. We require the services of a skilled soul sommelier. I know a soul sommelier named Becklug. Splendid! I see that even in this world you rub shoulders with the cream. Let us pay this Becklug a visit. I'm not sure what you're plotting to do with souls, but if you require Becklug's assistance, we can help. Aye, they've aided us time and again, and I reckon they do the same for your friend here. Come with us to the Cabinet of Curiosity. Though I am eager to return home, I will miss this strange world. Perhaps we can visit again someday. Surely there are cases here that require my preeminent powers of deduction. Seeing as he's a friend of the Warrior of Darkness ourselves, I should have known, but this Hildebrand is no ordinary man. If you're ready, I'll call for Becklug. Ah, the genius soul sommelier. You have come highly respected by Elita. And what is an adorable little puppy you have? So what? Puppy? I beg your pardon, but there seems to be some confusion. Puppy? Who is this imbecile Elita? I've half a mind to make him dig a hole so I can throw him in it. But I presume he is a friend of yours, and one in need no less. What? Another of your friends that needs to be sent back to the source? Have you forgotten how complex and difficult it was to do the last time? Yet you waltz in here and ask me this favour with the air of one shopping for a new hat? His case is no different from the others, at least. He is present only in soul, as they were. We'll need another spirit vessel, of course. You don't happen to have one on you already, do you? Entrusted to you by the Crystal Exarch, you say? Heh, if only he knew how you were using it. Fortunately, I have a proxy on hand. We've been using it to treat patients at risk of transforming into eaters. But I suppose it's due for a change of pace. There is, however, one concern. In case I didn't make it clear before, the process can place great strain upon one's soul. If he is lacking in resilience, there's a chance his will not survive. This very essence will be sent asunder. After what he's lived through, it would be implausibly anticlimactic for him to die like that.
Haha! Elita knows me all too well, I assure you. My good sommelier, who is most certainly not a dog. You needn't worry, for Hildebrand, Helidor, Maximilian Mandeville.
Yes, I get the distinct impression that the gods themselves could not kill him even if they tried. And they have. Come along then. I can't be bothered to remember that name.
1,000 thanks. Simply point me to the soul siphon and I shall hop right in.
The rest of you can wait here. I promise I won't hurt him, no matter how much I might be tempted. You'll be pleased to know the process was smooth and uneventful. Honestly, I was hoping for more of a challenge. All you need to do is take his spirit vessel back to the source and bring it in contact with his corporeal body. He should awaken immediately with his soul and memories intact. If there's nothing else, Von Arge and I should be getting back to our duties. It was a pleasure, Elita, if all too brief. I won't pretend I understood even a fraction of what happened, but I'm glad I was there for it.
Till we meet again, rest assured that Tyler and I will be doing our damnedest to look after the people here in your absence.
A brightly glowing spirit vessel that currently houses a resolute spirit of Inspector Hildebrand. Perhaps if I finish the teleport? You're back, and not a moment too soon. We have an emergency on our hands. The Inspector's soul's in this, you say? That's great, but we have another problem now. The Inspector's body has gone missing. We went to the markets to do some shopping, and when we came back, he was nowhere to be seen. I double-checked that door was locked before we left, but there's nothing to suggest someone forced their way in. We've got a case on our hands, the case of the evaporating Inspector. We must begin our investigation at once. Come on, let's start looking for witnesses. Was anything else stolen? Oh, this is so distressing. Tell me everything you know. The inspector's life is in jeopardy. Yes, this is a most distressing situation indeed. Did I see anyone get carried out of that house, you ask? I was too distracted with stock taking to make any comings or goings. Sorry I couldn't be of more help. As I said, matters of infantry has commanded my full attention of late. Perhaps someone else will be more help to you. I didn't see anyone carry a person out of that house, no. But I did see a man carrying a particularly large sack, so heavy he strained to lift it. I didn't think much of it at the time, but now that you mention it, it was a bit suspicious. I suppose the sack was large enough it could have conceivably contained a full-grown person. It looked terribly heavy. Yes, this is a most distressing situation indeed. Ah, there you are. This man says he has vital information that will help us in our investigation. A pleasure to make your acquaintance. I am Delion, Editor-in-Chief of the Thanvarian Truth, a monthly publication devoted to exploring unexplained and otherworldly phenomena of our isle. Your companion shared with me the news of your friend's disappearance, and I happen to know precisely who is behind the incident, but I fear you may not like the answer, for the kidnapper is not of this star. They come from the heavens. From beyond the great expanse, they descend in curious saucer-shaped airships to study our world, our society, our buildings, our very bodies. You shudder, no doubt, as you realize of whom I speak. It couldn't be, you protest. Oh, but it could, and it is. Your dear friend the Inspector has been abducted by aliens. Oh, but he'll be fine, you assure yourself. After all, they just want to understand us better. You poor deluded child. That they do, but to what end? Why else? That they might one day take over our world? What is worse, they plot to do with the aid of our collaborators, for the Charlayans are in league with our would-be overlords, providing the aliens with vital information on our vulnerabilities in exchange for a position of power within their regime. The Final Days was also the work of these alien invaders, an attempt to sow chaos, that our world would be easier to conquer. Blessedly, it was thwarted, if only by dumb luck, as those that did the thwarting were blissfully unaware of the true nature of the threat. Are you talking about the Loperites? I had hoped the setback would discourage the aliens from coming back, if we do not move them to abandon their ambitions, but it would seem events have only emboldened them, if they are indeed carrying out abductions here in Vazathan. Even as we speak, your friend lays prone on a sterile bed in their base on the surface of the moon, where they poke and probe with inscrutable instruments, as their floppy ears wiggle in fiendish delight. Ah, but I have said too much. I must continue my investigation in secret. The fate of our world is at stake. Oh no! That sounded awful! We have to go to the moon and save the Inspector at once! I think he has a few materia short of a full melt. You don't think the Inspector was somewhere getting probed by aliens? But if not them, then who's probing him? A man carrying a suspiciously large sack? That sounds promising. Maybe someone else can tell us more. Someone up ahead may have seen something. Let's ask around. If anyone can lead us to Inspector Hildebrand, it'll be that man with the large sack. I know it. Pariga and his family are the nicest people. They've got such gentle eyes, and long snouts too, longer than anyone I've met in Eorzea. The man with the sack? Indeed. I couldn't help but take note of him as he passed, trying so hard to be inconspicuous as he was. He descended to Azel's path, then went over to the fountain, where he met with a merchant, I believe. Such a hefty sack it was, my mind was racing with the possibilities of what it might contain. That had to be our man, right? We need to hunt down that merchant. The man you're looking to descended to Asdal's path, and was talking to a merchant by the fountain there. If you find out what was in the sack, please tell me. The mystery is too much to bear. If anyone can lead us to Inspector Hildebrand, it'll be that man with the large sack, I know it. It's incredible, isn't it? It reminds me of the giant statue of Lord Godbert at the Gold Saucer. Once the inspector's back on his feet, we'll have to show him. A man with a large sack, huh? You bet I saw him. In fact, I sold my chocobo. At first I told him to get lost. That bird and I go way back, and so forth. But he was in a hurry, and his offer was very generous. Then you're in my line of work. When you're in my line of work, you can't afford to get too sentimental. And now I can buy a whole stable's worth of chocobos. Did he say where he was planning to go next? He was muttering something about having to get to Saltwind's Welcome in a hurry. Probably why he was desperate for a chocobo. It's a long way to go on foot, never mind the sack. Did you hear that, Elita? We need to head to Saltwind's Welcome right away. If you want to catch your man, you should look for him at Saltwind's Welcome. I can't imagine he's moved on that quickly, unless he rode my bird to death. He didn't seem to be in a rush, but surely he would not have done such a terrible thing. Here we are, which means the mysterious man with the mysterious stack must be near. Keep your eyes peeled. Over there, that man is definitely up to no good. Maybe he's waiting for a co-conspirator. We should stay out of sight and watch what happens. Ah, Master Chupacabra. But he expressly told us he put these evil schemes behind him. He wouldn't lie, would he?
The gods appear to be none the worse for wear. Very well, your payment as promised. My client will be most pleased.
Oh no! Is he going to feed Inspector to that giant sea monster?
It is an honor and a pleasure as always, Dr. Luge. I have faith this specimen will meet with your satisfaction.
So, this is the one said to be the strongest, most resilient in all the world. The Mandible Man.
No, none other. He has weathered countless explosions and a multitude of martial abuses, including a devastating suplex I myself did witness. It is even said he survived a journey to Dalamud itself, and survived the Lesser Moon's fall with nary a scratch. Most fortunate for us, he has fallen into a coma, from which I am assured he will never awake. You are free to do with his body as you please.
Even the mightiest warriors can't fight while asleep. Those meddlers may have forgotten the better of me and my beautiful boy in the Tower of Babel, but my next child will be invincible. With this body and mind to command, I will exact a bloody glorious revenge!
Ahem, forgive my boldness, Dr. Luge, but when might I expect the rest of my payment? I have debts that must be repaid.
Worry not. With it to Telephorite gone for good, the vast fortune of House Brutus is entirely at my disposal. I shall shower you with wealth, my loyal minion.
And I shall gladly accept the spoils, Doctor, and resolve never to renounce my wicked ways. For surely this time I will suffer no comeuppance.
No, not you, not now. Bah, I must away.
Wait, Dr. Luge, my payment!
Wake up, Inspector! Oh no! Oh no!
Could it be? The world's no longer purple!
Stop moving, damn you! You're supposed to be the comatose centerpiece of my glorious revenge!
Mommy! Not again! Oh no! What are you doing? No! I say, that was rather a dramatic series of events to awaken to, but more importantly, after a brief detour, I find myself in my own world once more. My most sincere apologies for causing you such trouble, my loyal assistants, but rejoice, for Hildebrand, Agent of Inquiry, Inspector Extraordinaire, has made his triumphant return. Wait, Inspector! I knew it. An alien abduction. And to think I would have the chance to witness it with my own eyes. This month's issue of the Sanvarian Truth shall be the best one yet. And just when I thought we'd finally had this inspector back, off he went, and then he came back, and then... I know it's not the first time he's taken to the skies without warning, but still, it's always a little disappointing. Still, there's no use crying over flying inspectors. Let's return to Radzat's hand. Oh, Inspector, why have you left me again? And where have you gone? No, this won't do. Get it together, Nashu. There's a case to be solved. Just
Just you wait, Inspector. Your loyal assistant Nashu will solve the mystery of your disappearance. Again. And don't you worry, Elita. As soon as I have a new lead, you'll be the first to know. Till next time. With astute mind and explosive panache, you'll fight the crime, crack the case in a flash. Dashing debonair, pure gentleman's player, our agent of inquiry, out to brandman their bill. Truth and justice never go out of style. See you, Inspector. Don't worry for the Inspector. Nashu's on the case. And rest assured that as soon as I've assembled reliable leads, you'll be the first to know. Right, I think that's all of the new content for now. Thank you all for watching. Love you all, my darlings. Bye for now.